Hello everyone. By the time I finish this intro, a recruiter would have already decided if they're closing your tab or they're putting you in the pipeline for the next interview round. We call it the 60-second rule, where most designers fail here because they use generic templates. And generic templates is more like just picking a template and adding your content into it. It doesn't show your personality. So if your portfolio is one of those, then you've already lost it. So you got to make your portfolio really stunning, and a tool like Framer is definitely going to help you here. And they are a sponsor for today's video. So thanks Framer for making this video possible. And I'll share more about how they're changing the game later in the video. So today we're going to focus strictly on the landing page. The landing page is your first impression on your recruiter. And if you want to see how to create the case study and how to engineer it in a proper way, then let me know in the comments below. We can definitely do a part 2 for this video as well. So let's jump right onto my screen and we'll get started. So these are a couple of inspirations that I've picked up, and these are all hero sections of the landing pages. If you want to go for more inspiration, you can check out our website, which is designextreme.com. And on the left, you have UI UX designer portfolios. So here you can look at a lot of these portfolios from top designs from Meta, Google, and all these other top companies. So as you can see, the one thing that you notice is it's not like one size fits all. So these are very different, unique in their own style. So your landing page is like a whiteboard of your personality. So if you're bold, go with some heavy typography. And if you're playful, go with more playful, colorful, immersive visuals. But remember, portfolio gets you the attention that it needs, but the UX strategy that you use gets you into the interview. So try to treat your portfolio like a UX project that you do. So focus on the hierarchy of information and the architecture of your page to convey exactly what your user is looking for. And the user in this case is the recruiters themselves. So they come here to find you, to understand your skills. So that is what you got to exactly convey to your recruiters. Also, another amazing website that I came across is Wall of Portfolios in. Definitely check this out. They have got some really amazing portfolios categorized again by companies and different styles as well. So dark theme, minimal theme. So this is an amazing website. Definitely check this out for inspiration. But coming back to Framer, so if I were to make a portfolio in 2026, I would never start with Figma. That's the old way. If you want to really stick to that old process where you design, then hand off workflow, then definitely check out this previous video where I show you how to design in Figma and then take it to Framer. But come on, this is 2026. I have a much more efficient path here. So I'm going to get started right here on Framer's Infinity Design Canvas. So here you have two sections. Previously there was only pages, but now you have something called as design. This acts same like any other design tool that you have. You can add multiple pages, and this is like an infinite canvas. So here I've created a page for inspiration, and as you can see, these are a lot of inspirations that I've picked up. And you can just bring in your inspiration, start ideating here. You can do everything here. Everything that you do on Figma or Sketch is available here. You can draw frames, you can draw rectangles, and you can start adding auto layouts and everything. And this is something that I've done here as well. So I prefer a more minimalistic look for my style, and that's why I've gone with something very minimal here. So overall, talking about the hierarchy or the architecture of the landing page here, the top you start with the navigation, which it makes it convenient for everyone to jump into different sections, so that you don't have to scroll through everything. And this is a good practice of having your resume or your CV on the top itself. And then the hero section itself, this is where you show your personality and you set the vibe for the rest of the page. And then you can put in some stats here, which is again optional, but it sets a good trust factor and authority of what you have done. So if you're above 5+ years of experience, then it's a good place to set your authority that you have so much years of experience, number of products that you have shipped, and the average conversion rates and stuff. So you don't have to put in something really vague here, because this is something you might be questioned on. So definitely if you're putting a conversion rate and stuff, you get a question on how you have tried to record this metrics and stuff. So be mindful and make sure you put in metrics that are actually true and you can answer the questions on it. And then you move on to the work section. So a pro tip here is don't go for quantity. So if you have done like 20 projects, try to pick up the strongest 3 to 5. So it's a very common thing that recruiters directly jump onto the first one that they see. So absolutely put the best one on the top, and also try to add different labels saying that this is a UX research or this is about design systems, which makes it effortless for your recruiters to scan your skill set in seconds and they can jump into the relevant project that they are looking for. And then after that, you can add an about me section here where you talk more about yourself, about your experience, exactly what kind of roles you're looking for, and the different skill sets or expertise that you've got. And after that, you can put in your side projects and stuff. And if I can jump into my older portfolio, that is exactly what I've done here. So things I do in my free time, the different design system libraries that I've made, and the different kind of experimentations that I've done. So maybe it's like your vibe coding projects that you've done, or some 3D experiments, or anything artistic that you've done. So this shows your experimental mode, and it proves that you actually love the craft. And then after that, add a trust layer on it. So this is again optional, but it adds a trust factor where you can put in your testimonials from your ex-managers or your ex-colleagues, or even your clients if you're a freelancer. When I talk about freelancing as well, so these metrics again can be very customized to what you're working on. So if it is clients that you're working with, or if you're a freelancer or you're working on the service domain, you can add the metrics accordingly. So you can say that the number of happy clients that you had, or the number of overall projects that you worked on. All these metrics are again dependent on what type of your role you're looking for, and that can be customized to it. So again, when I come here, instead of adding your ex-manager's testimonials, this can again be your client reviews or different thing that your client has written for you. This is an instant credibility booster that you can add on. And finally, you can close it with a quick, clean footer, which is again just quick links so they can jump and reach out to you and stuff like that. So that was the overall ideation that I've made. And the best part about designing in Framer is you're not just designing in pixels, you're designing the web page right away. Once you're done with designing, just right click on the page and say create web page, and that's it. It's just a click away and your web page is ready. All you have to do is maybe make some tweaks for breakpoints. So a tablet breakpoint and a mobile breakpoint. And you can see that some things are breaking. All that you have to do is make some changes here. And if you've already done it in auto layout on the design mode, then a lot of these issues will also be fixed. So I'm not going to show you everything here because that's going to make the video really long. So you can head to framer.com or just search for Framer templates. And that's going to lead you to the Framer marketplace. So you can also get this on the Framer's website. You just need to jump into resources and marketplace. And this is a lot of these templates that I've got, right? So you can get started with something blank and create something unique. Or also you could get started with a template and tweak it to make it really unique for your particular preference. So apart from that, I'm just going to jump into components here. And here you can add a lot of these components which are ready to plug and play. Maybe I want to make this elegant design or this elegant term keep switching between other terms. So we just have to search for a component that is trying to reach our expectation. So there are a lot of these components. Some are paid and some are free. So you can switch between paid and free right from here. So I'll just switch to free and let's see which one we have. So this is something good, but I would prefer something very simple. So yeah, I think this is something that I'm looking for. Let's see the preview of this one. I just need to click on this and it'll show you the preview. Yeah, this is very subtle and I think this is something that I'm looking for. So all you got to do is just click on copy component and that'll copy it to your clipboard. Now come back to Framer and I'm just going to keep a copy of this one outside so that I have the content, and just paste the component that you have just copied, and here you have it. Now cut it from here and replace it here. So just go into paste and say paste in place, and that'll replace the component right here. So head to the layer section and check where it got pasted. So here I have it, which is the rotating headline. And one trick that you always need to know is if something is not visible, just click on that particular layer and come to styles and click on this plus button and use Z-index and just increase this value to something like 10. And there you go, I have it. And the best part is this component comes with all things as dynamic properties here. From our example, I want solving complex problems as the first line. So I'm just going to copy this, which is solving complex problems. And I'm going to click on this component right here. And here you have these different properties. So this is a prefix. I'm just going to give the solving complex problems as the prefix. And in this case, there's elegant design. So the suffix here would be design. And what is keeping on changing here are nothing but the words. So in this case, I probably want this to be elegant. And that's it. You have this term changing. And that's a really cool effect that you can add on your hero section as well. So not just this, you can head on to this components and you can search for different things. You have a lot of things, probably just search for backgrounds. And that should give you a lot of these different cool effects that you can add. Probably you want floating particles. Just click on this, copy this component, come back to Framer, and paste it here. So that's getting pasted and I just need to increase the width of this one probably. So there you go. If I play this, you can see these particles moving as well. All I got to do is just tweak these properties. So you can change the color of these particles so that it's more visible. I'm just really playing around with this one right here. So with this, you can see that the particles are more visible, and that's again just a cool way of fast tracking your designing process. You don't have to create all these animations you can just get it done. Apart from this, they also have an AI plugin, which is called as Workshop. So let me just click on this, and it's just a chat interface. You can tell it what you want. So probably I want these values to dynamically increase. So I just have to come here and say that I need a dynamic counter, and that will just create a dynamic counter. And I've already done this. I'm just gonna show you the output directly because that's gonna take time. So as you can see, I have everything in place here, and this one here is a dynamic counter. So I've just created this using the Workshop plugin that I showed you. You just have to give your prompt and it's gonna create a component, and that will have everything here where you can tweak around with and play around with. So I have this dynamic counter. I just have to replace with all of these static ones. And here I have all these properties, which will tell me that what is the start value and what is the end value. And I can also give a prefix and a suffix. So that makes it convenient to add a plus at the last or a percentage at the last as well. So let me show you how this overall output looks like. So I'm just hit on the play button, and here you can see, right? So I have that same exact component that I used. I just tweaked the colors and the typography and stuff like that, but everything remains the same. And if you saw, let me just reload all these dynamic counters which are loading. And if I can just scroll down, I've used sticky cards here. So these are sticky. You have that effect there. And overall, you can see, so these are the tools that I've used. And again, these are components that I've picked. I've not created everything from scratch here. I went to the marketplace, I found which one works well and picked it from there as well. So this is how Figma is going to help you fast track your portfolio creation, and not just portfolio creation. This is an amazing, powerful tool to create websites and a lot of other things. And once you're done and happy with everything, all you got to do is just click on publish, and it's going to create a live link for this. You can use your custom domains as well. So all this, you can check it in my previous video. I've showed you everything in detail there. But yeah, you saw that is the final result, and it's a live high performance website that can convert users. And by users, these are nothing but your recruiters. To get started with Framer, definitely use the link that I've shown on the screen, or you can find it in the description as well. And also try to use the promo code, which is exclusive free pro for 1 month by Framer, so that you can get started with your portfolios. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.